Hello everyone, this is my project. I'm going to explain it. It's a voltage meter that can be monitored from a website, web server, and it can also record the voltage to a USB stick. So I'm going to be going over the hardware first. So the thing that actually reads the voltage is this thing I engineered, quote unquote. It's pretty janky, but I'm going to design a custom circuit board now that I have it working. It's a little Arduino Nano, and it's got this little thing that I made. I glued it to the top. It's a voltage divider. It's extremely simple. It just divides the voltage. So the voltage needs to be read up to 30 volts, but the ADC, the analog to digital converter that the Arduino Nano can take in, is only 5 volts. So this voltage divider consists of one 2 kilo ohm resistor and one 10 kilo ohm resistor, and it turns 30 volts into 5 volts. So this is the power lead. I'm going to show you a test later. That's the thing that reads the voltage and it outputs it to a serial port, and it's reading it via UART. This is a Raspberry Pi Zero 2W. This is what runs the Flask web server that has the little graph and the recording function on it. And hooked up to it, I have a SSD 1306 128 by 32 pixel screen. It's an OLED. It's I2C. So ground, voltage, clock, and data. And I just have a 128 gigabyte USB stick. So if I swap over to the computer now, I'll show you how I actually start the program. So this is the Python script I wrote which does the web server. But this is the code for the little Arduino. Super simple. Super simple. Only 20 lines of code. So I can go back to my terminal. So I'm SSH'd into the Raspberry Pi. So I'm going to exit and show you what I have to do to start the script. So I'm back on my computer. So to log in, I do SSH, my name, and the IP address, which is 10.0.0.49. Ask me for my password, I enter my password, and it boots me into the interface. So my script is stored on the desktop, so I have to CD into the desktop directory. And you see, well, ignore this. This is just to test the I2C. So we have two main files, script.python and our templates. So I can go into the templates folder, and this is what houses the HTML files for the web server. Index.html, this is just super simple. So let's go over the index.html. I'm not using CSS for anything. Oh, my little camera froze, sorry. But I'm not using CSS for anything. It's all HTML. So index.html. See, all HTML. So I did the UI design in HTML. Alright, so let's go ahead and run the script, and you see it'll start up the web server, and it'll start recording voltage. So if I go back over to the camera, you can see our screen started up, and you have the current voltage, if it's logging or not, and the duration of the log. So right now I have it at 7.91 volts, and if I plug it in, I'm going to switch back to the computer, and if I switch back to the computer, you'll see it starts to read the voltage right here. It's 8.1 volts, and if I refresh the web page, you have this very sleek looking user interface. Now I'm going to full screen this. So when we start logging, it'll start with the logging status yes, and you see it'll start recording the voltage on this graph. And you see it's like taking the reading and it's plotting it on a graph. So this is in the 7 volts range, and if I unplug the voltage, you'll see momentarily it'll drop to 0. Any second now. I don't know why it's taking so long. 0 volts, see, boom, 0. So I'm gonna go on my phone right here. I'll switch back over to the camera, and we're gonna bump the voltage up to 25 volts, just to demonstrate that it can do higher voltages. 25.1, 25.1, and we'll swap back to the computer, and you'll see it jumps, well, when I plugged it in, it was on 8 volts, but you'll see it go up to 25 in a second. It takes a while to buffer because it's connected to the internet, but it's pretty accurate. So when you see it's at 25 and it's very consistent, 25.01, 25.1, it's very accurate. But if I click stop log, it'll go away on the screen. Well, I'm going to start another log for an example. So when I start a log, it starts recording and it tells you the duration and if it's logging or not. So if I go back to the computer now, I can click on manage logs. So this is the earlier one. You can see in the timestamp right here, 9:55 and 10 seconds. So this is the one you can either download or delete it. And when I download it, it'll save it as a CSV file. That stands for comma separated values. So I can open it in a spreadsheet, and it'll show you the timestamp with the date and the time and the voltage. I'm probably going to design a web app that's hosted on GitHub to plug in these CSV files and plug it back into a graph so it's easier to read. But this is my first project, and I will show you my other one that I'm working on. But yeah, this is my first project that I'm going to go over today. Thanks for watching.